Hi, everybody. Welcome to fantasy baseball, basketball, football, anything you want, we'll talk about. Any sport. I'm here at MFSN. If you like what you're watching, if you don't like what you're watching, press the like, subscribe, press the bell. Let's have some fun today. I'll answer questions. The best question today, I'm giving away a t-shirt, an MFSN t-shirt. I will give away. I'll send it to you. Make sure your question is good, makes sense, and I can either answer it or not, but I usually answer 98% of the questions I get, so don't worry. But send me as many questions as you want. I'm excited to be here. We're here at MFSN, and it's sports galore. We got every sport going right now except football, but we'll talk about the NFL draft, which is in 2 weeks, which I'm excited about. There's going to be a lot of trades, a lot of action is going to take place. But don't be afraid to write your questions. Send them to me. Subscribe to all our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we're on it. Just subscribe to everything. Let's have some fun. First thing I want to talk about, which I watched actually live on Friday night, is Joe Musgroves' no-hitter for the Padres. Did you know the Padres never had a no-hitter ever in their history? And they've had some good pitchers. They had Jake Peavy, Randy Jones, Greg Maddux, Gaylord Perry. They had David Wells, Kevin Brown. They had all these guys that pitched for them. Unbelievable talent. In the 8,205 games, they never had a no-hitter in San Diego. They had their first no-hitter on Friday. It was unbelievable. And the guy who pitched it lives like 10 minutes away from the stadium. Like it's where he grew up. So it's a great story. Congratulations. It's actually his only second start ever for the Padres. He pitched on, I believe he pitched for the Astros and Braves too, but it's a great story. I was really happy to see it happen. And now the team with the longest streak of not having a no-hitter is Cleveland. It's been 39 years since Cleveland had a no-hitter. So that all being said, congratulations. I know people in San Diego are excited about it, and it's a great thing. And let's just keep talking baseball. I mean, I love baseball. Where it's over a week now, we're kind of figuring out what players are good, what players are not doing well. Don't give up on the Stars. They're going to pick it up. Don't worry. It's only been a week. So if you have some of these big names on your team that are hitting under 200, don't drop them. Keep them. They're going to pick it up. Odds say they're going to start hitting soon. So don't do anything stupid. Don't do something I would do. Give up on players. That's what I love to do. I'm known for it. But don't do that. Keep your stars. Be confident. The first player I want to talk about, which I saw last night, I haven't seen this in many years. I can't remember the last player who did this, but Ronald Osuna last night, he plays for Atlanta Braves, was on third base. He tagged up from third base to home when a second baseman caught the ball in the infield. Well, it's almost in the outfield, but it was really close to the infield. And he ran and scored from third base. And this guy is hitting like 455. He's like, how many home runs? He has 4 home runs in 5 games. He's like tearing it up. He's, right now he's my National League MVP. And plus he can steal. So that all being said, if you can trade for Ronald Osuna right now, you should do it, because this guy, A, he's going to have a huge year, and B, it's just the first week. He's just warming up. So just be ready. Somebody else that is playing unbelievable that I love is actually Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton plays for the Minnesota Twins. This guy is a true superstar. He's my AL MVP pick. He's like 4 home runs this season already. He's killing the ball. He's hitting over 400. I mean, he can steal bases too. I mean, this guy's fast. The problem is he doesn't hit singles. He only hits doubles, triples, and home runs. So that's the major problem he has. The guy never steals bases. So that all being said, I love this guy. If you can pick him up, Buxom's a great pickup right now. So if you can pick up Buxom immediately, because he is, I think I believe he's like in the 75% range when it comes to like rostered on teams. So he is available in smaller leagues. So go pick him up. Believe me, he will be in talk about the MVP. I know there's Mike Trout, please. I don't want to hear about it. But that all being said, Buxom is my pick this year to win the MVP. I think he'll be great. Talking about a team that won't have any MVPs, let's talk about the Chicago Cubs. Wow, they started out okay. Now they're 4-6. They're under 500. Team batting average. Listen to this. This is team batting average. And a lot of pitchers, if they hit this, it's like it's not even good for pitchers to hit this. They're hitting 164, 264 on base percentage. 264 on base percentage. This is as a team. And their slugging percentage is 321, which is horrible. So my prediction for Cubs fans is this. I know there's a lot of them out there. You guys will be doing a fire sale. You guys will be getting rid of, well, most of your good players will be gone by All-Star break. Baez, Rizzo, all those guys, they should be they'll be traded away. They'll be gone. I mean, Cubs have to do a whole facelift. They got to figure out what exactly they want to do, what they want to say, there's no synergy in Chicago except for the White Sox. I love the White Sox. As I said many times, they're the team to beat in the Central. They're unbelievable. They have great pitching, great hitting. They have like the oldest manager in the league with the Russa. But that all being said, the White Sox I like a lot. But again, Cubs fire sale. You heard it from me first, Ross the Boss. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in Chicago if they keep losing. You'll see David Ross, their manager, could be fired. There's going to be a lot of stuff, bad stuff will be going on, especially if they don't pick it up and start hitting the ball again. A player that I love to watch, and it's unbelievable. Every year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays always find these pitchers. I don't know where they find them. I have no idea. They always find like Blake Snell. They always find these guys. So they have Tyler Glasnow. Last night, he had 14 strikeouts, 7 2/3 innings. He has 29 strikeouts for the season in 3 starts. You do the math. You tell me how many strikeouts per start he has. I mean, his ERA is under 2. I mean, this guy's pitching like unbelievable. And I did not believe in him. I mean, last year his ERA was like 4. But everybody's telling me, oh, this guy's going to be the next big thing. He's like the Kurt Schilling. He throws hard. He's unbelievable. So that all being said, I was wrong about Tyler Glasnow. He is a superstar. Again, another guy, if you can grab him, if you can get him on your team, it's a good time to trade for him is now, because again, 2 weeks from now, he's going to keep pitching and having these huge starts. And Tyler Glasnow will be a big star. We got our first question today. It's coming from Cleveland, Ohio. I told you how good Glasnow. It's not a question. It's a statement. I don't want statements. I told you how good Glasnow would be. See, that's not what I want. What's the answer of that question? How do I answer that question? Now my blood pressure's going up. Okay, you told me. Wow. You also told me that Hassan Whiteside for the Sacramento Kings would be a superstar this year. He's not a superstar. So stop pretending everything you pick turns to gold. It's not true. Okay, I'll give you Glasnow. Fine. Go ahead. Make my day. There you go. Thank you for acknowledging. Laugh out loud. LOL. Who even does LOL anymore? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cleveland, Ohio. You guys are in first place. The Indians are in first place. I got to hand it to you. They have a team that's just every year they lose free agents. They don't sign anybody. They really don't sign anybody. I mean, they have these guys on their team and they keep winning. I mean, they're just a good franchise, the Cleveland Indians. And you know what? Don't change your name. Keep the Indian name. We recently interviewed Kenny Lofton, and I asked him, I said, Kenny, what do you think about the Indians name? Do you think they should change it? You know what he said? He said, absolutely not. It's not demeaning towards Indians. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. He's right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's unbelievable. They want to, they just want to cancel everything in this world. It's unbelievable to me. But oh well, we're not changing the Indians name. We're keeping it. Right, America? I sound like a lunatic. But in all seriousness, I agree with Kenny Lofton. I believe that the Cleveland Indians should keep their name. I don't find it demeaning at all for any nationality or anybody. But let's keep going. Any more questions? Now, no more questions, but I'll keep going. I want to talk about Chapman, Alonis Chapman, the reliever for the New York Yankees. In the season, maybe was saying, oh, he's washed up. He's not going to be the closer anymore, blah, blah, blah. I said, not true. He lost a little ticks on his fastball. I'm going to admit that. It's not going 102 anymore. It's going 199. So there's nothing wrong with his fastball. But you know what he did develop, which is unbelievable now. I don't know if you've seen him pitch. And he's been pitching lights out, Chapman. And he's been pitching great for the Yanks. His slider it's not hittable. I mean, you can remember like Rivera had that cutter. Chapman's slider's like the same type of pitch. It's almost, if he pitches it right, you can't hit the ball. So Chapman is back. He looks great. I'm excited for the Yankees. I think they have the best team in paper. I said this many times. The Yankees are the best team on paper in the American League. I think they'll win the American League. They're my pick. They stay healthy. If Judge goes down like he almost did already, and if some other things happen with health issues, I don't think they will be. But right now, the Yankees are my pick in the American League. We got a question. This is coming from Cleveland, Ohio. Speaking of the Indians winning without any payroll, which is true. I agree with you. Who are the best organizations for winning without spending? That's a great question. I always, what teams I bring up? It's the Oakland A's. Every year, the Oakland A's are in the playoffs. And it's basically, they lose, basically all their relievers leave because everybody wants to sign them because they do so well. They all go to different teams. And they find these hitters like in their minor leagues. I never heard of half these guys. I mean, beginning of the season, by the end of the season, I know who they are. But they have unbelievable minor leagues. They know what players go where. If you saw the movie Moneyball, you know why they're so good. And another team who won the American League last year is Tampa Bay. Their payroll's a joke too. And no one goes to the games. I mean, the games are not because of COVID. Before COVID, no one went to the Tampa Bay games. There was like more people went to my kids' Little League game than went to Tampa Bay games. It's unbelievable. So those are my top two, Oakland and Tampa. If you disagree with me, please let me know. I'm curious to see what you have to say. I have another question. Anthony Cruz, no relation to Tom Cruise. They spell it differently. So it's Anthony Cruz. Anthony, nice to have you here. You always have some really good questions. This could be the winning question. We'll see what happens. I drafted Ozuna. I talked about Ozuna in our fantasy baseball show, actually, that comes on Wednesday, which you have to watch. I drafted Ozuna from the Braves, but so far he's been a huge disappointment for my team. I said this beginning of this telecast, and Ozuna, again, there's a whole list of players that are not hitting well, and Ozuna's one of them. I mean, and you can't give up on these guys. What you can do is you can bench them and start as somebody else in the outfield if you want, and wait till the smoke clears, and then as soon as it gets hot in Atlanta, which will be probably in another month, Ozuna's going to start hitting. I guarantee it. The heat in Atlanta makes him alive. So with Ozuna, just wait on him. But if you want to pick somebody up, watch our waiver wire show tomorrow. Dr. Dan Ratner is one of the biggest fantasy baseball players in the country. He knows what he's talking about. I'm pretty good too. Bat flat to the bone. Casey Scheinfeld's unbelievable. But listen to our telecast tomorrow. We'll give you a lot of insight in who you should pick up, because there's a lot of young players that are either playing way over their head or the next Mickey Mantle. I don't know. We got another question along with Anthony's comment. Who are the biggest disappointments of fantasy baseball so far? Where do you want me to begin? You got Stanton in New York for the Yankees, who's not hitting the ball at all. He's batting like 120. You look at every team, there's a disappointment this year. There's a laundry list of people. Again, with everybody who's disappointing, Aaron Judge is a huge disappointment this year. He's not picked it up, but please remember, it's only the first week. Because you're not hitting like 500 doesn't mean you're not going to do well this year. Just folks, relax with your fantasy superstars. They'll be there. If you don't want them, trade them to me. I'll be happy to grab them. If you want to trade me some of your superstars that you're not happy with, trade them. And you'll see in July, you'll be crying for them to be on your team. So just relax. Don't do anything stupid. But again, there's been a lot of every team has like there's a laundry list of disappointments. I mean, it's unbelievable. And another disappointment who I thought was going to be a good year this year is Dexter Fowler of the Angels went down. He's out for the year. I mean, that's a disappointment. If I had to talk about a disappointment is when a player goes down and he's hurt, he's out for the year. Mookie Betts hasn't played the past few games either. He's been a disappointment. Cody Bellinger, I'm saying on these Dodgers because I live in Los Angeles, but Cody Bellinger, another guy that hasn't played since like game 2 or game 3. So, I mean, disappointments to me are guys that are hurt. I mean, again, these guys can easily snap out of their cold streak. A guy that's playing great, who I said beginning of the year is one of the guys that I liked a lot that I knew would bounce back, is J.D. Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. Martinez was player of the week this last week, playing unbelievable. I mean, he's killing the ball. He had 2 home runs, I think, yesterday. If you can get Martinez, it's probably not a good time just because the owners probably think so high of him right now. But he's going to have a great year. It's a good time to pick him up if you can or trade for him. But I think he's back at form. But again, with my disappointments, I mean, there's a lot of players, too many, but they'll pick it up. No worries. Here's a question. Who are some guys that you should go and let me read this. Who are some guys that got out too early that I should pick up, that got cut too early that I should pick up? I love this kid from Cincinnati, Jonathan India, plays second base and third base. He's eligible for too. I think the secret's out. This guy's the real deal. He was the pride of the Reds organization 2 years ago. He was like the top prospect. Last year with COVID, he didn't do that great. I don't think he responded that great. He kind of like just disappeared in the organization. Now he's back. He's starting. They had no idea he was going to make the team. He did unbelievable in spring training. He made the team. Then they said, we got to start this kid. They put him at second base. He's been playing great. So if you could pick up India from the Reds, is a great pickup, and as I said before, Buxom for the Twins is unbelievable. I mean, I'll go through some of the teams later, but I mean, there are some great pickups. But again, I want to talk about this tomorrow on Wednesday on our waiver wire show. I don't want to give all my waiver wire stuff out and then repeat it tomorrow. So again, watch our waiver wire show. We will reveal so many great names, so many good pickups. But again, I'm repeating myself because you guys don't listen. Don't drop your superstars. Repeat after me. Don't drop your superstars. Hold on to them. But if you want to trade and get a superstar on your team that a team could be upset about, do it, because right now is a great time to do it. If you can get somebody like 2 weeks within the season and get like, you can get like a Suna, get one of these big time players that aren't playing that great. You know what I mean? Even like Josh Donaldson, who plays for the Twins, he's been hurt almost the whole like he's batting 1,000 because he got one at bat and he got a hit, then he got hurt, but he's coming back this week. Even Donaldson, even like, also who's back on Thursday, who the owners might be a little down on him, is Tim Anderson. I know he sounds like Dan Ratner's econ teacher, but still, Tim Anderson is somebody that you can pick up maybe kind of cheap. And remember, he's a batting champion. He's unbelievable. I love Tim Anderson. So let's keep talking. Let's keep talking baseball. And I want to ask you guys, I want to tell you my top. I want to give you this. I like doing lists. I'm a list guy. I love it. So I want to tell you my top 5 teams right now in baseball. Tell me if you agree. If you don't agree, type me, email me, or right now, write a comment. Tell me you don't agree with me. Tell me. I'd love to talk to you about it. Right now, the team that I have number 1 playing the best baseball right now. It doesn't mean they're the best team in the Major League Baseball. But for me, they're playing the best baseball right now is the LA Dodgers. They're 8-2. They're World Series champions. I have the Dodgers number 1. I can't take them off the pedestal as much as I love to. But again, they have their best players not even playing, and they're 8-2. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be unbelievable. Number 2 is the Padres. They're 8-3. They're in the same division. They're a half game behind the Dodgers. They're my number 2 team. That's my number 2. Number 3, I'm keeping everything in Southern California. LA Angels, 7-3, playing great baseball. Their pitching's coming around. Their hitting's doing great. They look good. I like the Angels. Again, these are power ratings just for the first week, so don't go crazy on me. Remember, my number 4 team are the Astros. They're 6-4. I know you guys, they cheat, blah, blah, blah. I don't care if they cheated 2 years ago. It's fine. I don't care. But the Astros are not my number 4 team, and my number 5 team, just because who they beat and the teams they played so far. They played the Mets and the Braves, and they're in first place. They're 6-3 at the Philadelphia Phillies. So I'm going to credit the Phillies for playing great baseball, because to me, I feel that they have the toughest schedule so far. I mean, the Mets are predicted to win the East, and the Braves won the East last year, and they have a great team too, as we all know. So that all being said, that's my top 5. I didn't put my Reds in there. I don't want to hear, Ross, you're prejudiced towards Reds. Of course I love the Reds, but I didn't put them in the top 5, even though they are in first place. So I don't want to hear any smack about, you like the Reds, you're part of. No, I'm a fair guy here. The Reds are a good team, top 10, but not top 5. And I didn't put Cleveland in there either for obvious reasons. Ha ha ha. But if you think I'm wrong, if you think, let's just go through the standings real quick. And then I want to talk basketball too. I love basketball. Red Sox are in first in the East. They won today. They're in first. Unbelievable. They started off horribly. People in Boston were going crazy. They couldn't win a game. And now they're like 5 in a row, whatever it is. Cleveland and the Twins are battling out in the Central, and you got the Angels in the West, Phillies, I mentioned, in the East from the National League, and you got the Reds in the Central, and Dodgers and Padres are like neck and neck in the West. So tell me who you think is going to win those divisions. Those divisions are tough. There's some really good teams. I'm excited for baseball this year. I think there's a lot of questions will be answered by September. We'll see what happens. We got let's see if I got a question. Hello everyone. Well, we got 810 Pro Wrestling. I believe he's a pro wrestler. Hello everyone. Go Tigers. Tigers have been a good team this year. I've been watching them. They have a lot of young stud players. Guys I never heard of. I mean, seriously, I haven't heard of half these guys in their lineup. I mean, some come up to me and say, can you say the lineup for the Tigers? I can't do it. Their Boyd's pitching great. They have some great young pitchers. I like the Tigers. I don't think they're a bad team. I don't think they'll be like a laughing stock like they were in the past few years. But again, we'll see what happens. But the Tigers are a good team. I'm not going to say anything bad about them right now. Let's talk basketball. My favorite sport. No, not really. Baseball is. But let's talk basketball. I want to talk about I just read an article. I actually saw the interview. Reggie Miller was asked, you're going to love this. Reggie Miller was asked if Michael Jordan called you and said, hey, I want you to join the Chicago Bulls, would you come over here? And you know what Reggie Miller said? I might quote this. He said, I would tell Michael Jordan to go F himself. He didn't say F. He said the F word. I'm not going to say. I don't want to swear, just in case if there's kids under the age listening. I don't want to offend and make the parents upset. So that shows you the difference between basketball now, basketball back then. People had pride in their teams. People had pride in their towns. Reggie Miller basically told Michael, I'm not going to play with you. I want to make my team. I want to make my team, my town. I want to win the championship here. I don't care about Chicago. And basically told probably the GOAT, in my opinion, to go F himself, which is unbelievable. I love it. But, now like LeBron and all these players, they all talk during the offseason. They all talk about joining forces and coming on my team. And, look at Brooklyn, look at the Lakers. They all congregate. They all come together to form these super teams. And it's not as fun. I liked it back then. What do you guys think? Subscribe, ring that bell, press that like button, do your stuff. Ask me more questions. But I agree 1,000% with Reggie Miller. I would have told Michael Jordan the same thing. If he wanted Ross the Boss to play for the Bulls, I would have said, listen, Michael, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. If you want me, you come here. I'm not going to you. What am I, a dog? Ha! No one tells Ross the boss what to do. Uh, you know what? It reminds the only loyal basketball player right now, if you think about it, the only loyal guy that stays on this team that's a legitimate superstar, probably the best shooting guard ever in basketball, is Steph Curry. And he's not going anywhere. He's staying at Golden State. They could trade him, but he's not signing with some other team. He's staying there. He's a loyal guy. He's the last of the loyals. You know what I mean? You don't see that anymore. Everybody else, AD, LeBron, they all leave on a dime. All these guys, there's loyal as a cat. Steph Curry is like he's the real deal. I respect that dude. Steph Curry, good for you. You win a T-shirt. I got a question. Who are some of the best all-time players who played on one team in baseball? Let's go back to baseball. So that's a great question. I mean, let's go back in history a little bit. I'm not going to say Babe Ruth because he played for more than one team. I will say Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle played for the Yankees all those years. I mean, I love to say Pete Rose, but Pete Rose, he left the Reds in 1979, as much as I want to. I mean, he played a long time there. But the most loyal players, here's my list. I would say Tony Gwynn. He's up there. He played for the Padres for many years, and they played many horrible years. Dale Murphy with the Braves when they were bad, he made the list. I know he played for the Philadelphia Phillies, whatever, but I'm just counting the Braves years. I would also say like George Brett, small market, played in Kansas City for years, could have played anywhere he wanted. He stayed there. He could have left. Another guy that's very loyal, who I enjoy watching, I'll say Chipper Jones of the Braves too. And I'm just thinking I'm going to think during free agency when money matters, because back in the 40s, 50s, even 60s, players weren't making the money like they were like now. I mean, you can goat these guys to come to your town because you have money and you could buy yourself a World Series like some teams did in the past few years. I'm not going to mention any names, but, but I'm trying to think way back 70s, 80s. God, I'm another guy that I loved is it's played for the Reds. I'll just say it. I mean, David Concepcion. He stayed in Cincinnati. He stayed there. He got a kid play wherever he wanted. So there you go. And after free agency happened, a lot of changes happened. But Tony Gwynn is the guy that stayed there. He's my number one pick. Tony Gwynn. There you go. You got my answer. How about Kirby Puckett? Love Puckett. Too bad about the eye injury. Then he died way too early. I love Kirby Puckett. I agree with you, Puckett. Very loyal guy. Played in Minnesota all those years. One of the best center fielders I've ever seen play. Unbelievable hitter. And he wasn't, he was like a husky guy. He was a big guy, but he moved around he could steal bases. Kirby Puckett, of course, is on the list. Yes, on Kirby Puckett. I agree with you 100%. Let's talk about the East and what's going on there. A lot of injuries. As I saw, Brooklyn Nets, Harden didn't play. They had a game today, actually. Harden didn't play. Kyrie Irving didn't play. They blew out Minnesota. But regardless, I don't think Brooklyn's going to win the East. I think the Sixers will. The Sixers are healthy. They have everybody back. I feel Brooklyn saving their players for the playoffs. And I like the Sixers to win the East. Doesn't mean to win the East during the regular season. That's what I'm saying. So there you go. Got another question. Tony Gwynn was my top answer too. There you go. We agree. I'm on to something. Now, I didn't even know. I didn't have time to research it either, which is unbelievable. I'm just the best. Oh, well. And if the playoffs started today, this is something I just read and I looked it up. If the playoffs started today, the Lakers and Clippers will play each other in the first round. In the first round, just because the Lakers dropped so much in the standings because they don't have their two top players. And that kind of upsets me because I kind of wanted that to be like the last series in the West is like the Lakers and Clippers play the Eastern champions. It's probably won't happen now, which isn't good at all. Kind of ruins everything. don't know if you saw it, but Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets last night, torn ACL. He's out for the year. So I think the Nuggets, they were playing good basketball. They're done. They're not going to win the West. They had a chance with Murray. He was so good in the playoffs last year. It's heartbreaking. I mean, I know that I know the Nuggets have some good backups and stuff, but it doesn't matter. They're not. It's over. And I even have them like in my top 5 teams right now, like to watch out for. I think we got another question. Let's add, what's the best baseball game of all time? Oh God, best baseball game of all time. There's 100 of them. The 1-0 Jack Moore's 10-inning shutout to win the World Series had to be, that was unbelievable. That was a great game. That was unbelievable. The Joe Carter home run in the World Series, when the Toronto Blue Jays, he hit the home run to win that was unbelievable. There's been some great games. I mean, I just remember games that I went to. I mean, I saw the Dodgers win in the playoffs the greatest moment for me, I'm not even a Dodger fan, I'll say it. 1988, Kirk Gibson walks up there limping his leg. He was hurt, could barely move. I mean, he even said he couldn't run. I mean, if he got a base hit, he doesn't know how he would run the first base. He said that. Came up against Dennis Eckersley, probably one of the best closers in baseball in the 80s. I mean, he was unhittable. He was a great goatee, unbelievable pitcher. He started as a starter actually in Cleveland. I don't know, Cleveland was so dumb they couldn't figure out to make him a closer. That's how dumb they are in Cleveland. But I mean, basically Gibson went up there, hit the home run to win the World Series. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was one of the greatest moments in sports. And Ross the Boss was there. I was there. It's unbelievable. But I'm going with Kirk Gibson. Sorry. Not Jack Morris 1-0 game. I probably would have fell asleep during that game if I was watching it. I did watch it, but I like runs. I like scoring. As I mentioned, Denver Nuggets. Sorry, but season's practically over without Murray. But I do think Joker will be a MVP this year for the. I think they'll be an MVP because Harden's not playing much anymore. I think Brooklyn's going to rest their team, and I believe we'll see Jokic win the MVP for the Denver Nuggets for the NBA. So you heard it from me first. I switch every week anyways. Doesn't matter. I'm getting a call, but I'm going to probably hear it. But okay. So NBA, let's talk. How much time do we have? Okay, we can talk about that. Let's talk about the NFL draft. 10 minutes left. NFL draft. It's coming up in 2 weeks in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio is like the talking point today. Everything's in Cleveland. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got the Browns. We got the Indians. It's like the mecca of sports. It's unbelievable. Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. And most of my questions are from Cleveland, Ohio. Big following in Cleveland. NFL draft. I kind of had fun today. I kind of did my draft order. I mean, I did my predicting. I know Mel Kiper Jr. does it, but Ross the Boss does it too. And I'm usually pretty good at it. So my number one pick, what do you think? Trevor Lawrence. Jags already said that you can put it in the book. They're guaranteeing that's the number one pick. He's not going to be in Cleveland. He'll be in South Carolina at school with his coach, watching the draft, and that's where he'll be doing his little interview from. So Trevor Lawrence, first pick. Second pick, Zach Wilson, BYU quarterback. He's going to the Jets. Not a surprise. That's been the rumor for the past month. Don't like that pick. I don't think he's the second best quarterback in the draft, but that's Ross the Boss's opinion, but I could be wrong. 49ers, they moved up. And you're saying, why did they move up? What are they doing? I thought they liked Janine Garofalo, but I think they're getting off that bandwagon. I think they're going to either start this new guy or they'll do something. So I think we'll see Justin Fields as the pick of the 49ers. I think Justin Fields, that's why they traded up for him. They're not giving you a direct answer. They don't want to reveal their cards. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. I would play the same game. The 49ers have the next pick. They're for sure taking Kyle Pitt, tight end from Florida. He's unbelievable. Let me just get this real quick. I'll go to your answer. 5 is Penei Sewell. He's the tackle from Oregon. he ran a 5.0. He's 330 pounds, ran a 40 and 5 flat, which is unbelievable. Strongest guy, one of the strongest guys in the draft too. He's huge. He'll be protecting Joe Burrow. My next guy is a wide receiver from LSU is Chase. He's great. He'll be going, and he'll be going to Miami. And the 7th pick, I believe the Pats will get the 7th pick. They'll trade with the Lions, and they're going to get Mac Jones of the Alabama Roll Tide team, because Mac Jones and the coach of Alabama and the coach of the Patriots are good friends. They used to work together. I believe them working together will make Mac Jones the pick of the Patriots, and I believe Mac Jones will be the starting quarterback. You heard it from me, for the New England Patriots in the upcoming season. So we'll see what happens. He totally reminds me of like a young Tom Brady, this kid, Mac Jones. I know he was good, but his style, his body type, everything else reminds me of Tom Brady. So we'll see what happens. Tell me who email me, text me, let me know, or write me a question about the draft. The draft's coming up. Tell me your favorite team is. I'll tell you where I think they'll go. But those are my picks. The draft is pretty deep this year. As you see, a lot of quarterbacks in the first 10 picks. It's going to be like 3 or 4 of them. Maybe it'd be 4 picks, maybe even 5. The kid from South Dakota is really good too. So we'll see what happens. We got another question. Joe Burrow. You mean Joe Bear? What do you mean? But Joe Burrow? Oh, I get it. No, Joe Burrow, not Joe Bear. It's funny though. But I think that I'm in a dynasty football league, but only have a 2nd round picks. Who can I pick up that would be some of the best rookies in the 2nd round? I have not got to the 2nd round yet, but again, there's a lot of young stud running backs that will go in the 2nd round, and I will answer their question later. But again, you can get a lot of great treasures in the 2nd round, especially in running back position, because as we know, the running back position in football, you have like 4 good years, unless there's exceptions, but you have 4 good years as a running back. After that, you drop. Talking about running back, I mean, you see the Steelers, do you see the Phoenix Cardinals? Phoenix Cardinals are the most active team in football during the offseason. They signed James Conner, who used to be the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, cancer survivor. They signed him to be their running back after they lost Drake. So now they have Connor. They have Edmonds. They have Watt, JJ Watt. They have great receivers. The Cardinals are going to be the interesting team for me this upcoming year. Either they'll be really, really good, or the whole team will fall apart and they'll be really, really bad. They're not going to be mediocre. They're going to be really, really good or really, really bad. So tell me what you think about the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they've been the most active team when it comes to free agents and trades during the offseason. They've been unbelievable. They really want a winner there. They want to win now. I mean, do you think their quarterback Murray is ready to do that? Do you think he's elite? I don't know. I have no idea. Do you think Russell Wilson would be the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks this year? I don't know. He's not happy in Seattle. He's been rattling in that cage for the past 3 months. He's been, he's not been saying nice things about Seattle. It's been calm the past couple of weeks, but don't be surprised during draft day if they decide to get rid of Russell Wilson in Seattle. I won't be surprised if that happens. And Seattle trades or gets a quarterback or signs somebody that's available. It should be interesting. We'll see what happens. But, we can talk hockey a little bit. I want to talk hockey just a little bit. I know we have hockey fans that like the show. Vancouver had caught the COVID bug. I mean, they've been canceling games like crazy. So the new schedule came out. Now Vancouver has to play 19 games in 26 days. It's 19 games. It's an unbelievable schedule for Vancouver. So if you could pick up Vancouver players, especially during hockey playoffs, which is happening right now or next week in fantasy, pick them up immediately, because Vancouver is going to have a lot of games. Pick them up. And again, it's a good time to be a hockey fan, because the playoffs are just around the corner and fantasy playoffs are happening either now or next week. So just be aware how many teams have a lot of games. Dallas has tons of games. San Jose has some games. I've been looking at the schedule. I've been following it. I'm in a fantasy league with very competitive people, and having more games than other players means a lot. So again, I never seen a schedule with so many games for one team in my life in hockey. I don't know how they're going to do that many games, but I guess they will. I just hope no one gets hurt on the Vancouver Canucks. Email me your questions. Press subscribe. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what teams you're watching. I mean, there were day games today. I saw the Red Sox won. I saw the Twins. The Twins are back playing baseball again. They were off yesterday because of what happened in Minnesota. I don't like when any of that stuff happens. It saddens my heart, and it's whatever goes on. But that all being said, tell me what you think about sports and players not playing because what happens, all these horrible things that happen. Do you think they should play, or you think they shouldn't play? Tell me what you think. Be happy to talk about it. There's no right and wrong answer. It's just opinions. So don't feel obligated like you got to think what I think. I mean, what I think is, it doesn't matter. But let me know. No, anybody else wants to ask me questions, I'm here. Let's talk really quick with baseball. We got a long season. Make sure you guys watch our waiver wire show tomorrow. It's going to be good. We got a lot of stuff has gone on in the past week in baseball. I can't wait to talk about it. I just don't want to talk about it here because I want to save a little bit for tomorrow. And if I talk about it here, why talk about it on another show? Get it? But it's been great. I'm Ross the Boss, and thanks for watching. Watch us next week, same time, same place. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all social media outlets, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah. From Kill Cliff, the #1 clean energy drink in the mind of Joe Rogan, comes the Flamin' Joe. Sugar-free, B vitamins, electrolytes, all them good drink things. An epic spicy pineapple fusion from out of this world, straight into your drink hole. Own it. Kill Cliff.